Today is June 18th. The Yankees got swept by the Red Sox.
The Yankees played bad. Let's recap the sad. How much more can we take? As the loss column grows, try to enjoy the show. It's time for Talkin' Yanks.
Welcome to Talkin' Yanks, episode 921, brought to you by SeatGeek. Yankees got swept. Is it still going?
I just wrapped up.
Oh, my bad.
No, you were great. It was perfect.
Awesome. My name's Jimmy. His name is Jake. BBD is here. We'll get to talking about all of it and the games and whatnot. And maybe Jake has some awesome burns, and maybe we have some killer prides, and maybe we have some great awards to give out. But I want to let Jake know before we even start the show, I come bearing gift to everyone. The last 3 innings of the game today, I got my laptop out, I got Google Sheets out, and I built an algorithm. And I think you're going to love what it churns out.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, Jim, BBD, Jim, how you doing? Horrified for that, but excited. Just like watching the Yanks. Yeah, man. We're in it today. I'm excited. Beebs, I don't know how quick we can change the title. How many people were excited for State of the Union? I couldn't have been more excited for that has become a real thing in Talkin' Yanks land. It's pathetic. It's bad. It's sad. It has me questioning everything. I had some thoughts today. A kid I went to college with. It's Father's Day. Happy Father's Day, Jim.
I got a hair in my mouth.
Happy Father's Day.
Cap it all off.
Doc BBD. Happy Father's Day to my dad. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. One of our buddies we went to college with, Patty Wells. Don't talk to him a lot. But he's got a kid. He brought him to the Mets game today, and I was gonna talk. Normal protocol for me there is be like, hey, you still have time to make your kid a Yankee fan. I didn't send the message because I don't know if I'm right. I don't know if I'm right anymore.
The Mets are a mess as well. I mean,
they're horrific, but I'm talking about, Jim, as you're making algorithms over there, I'm digging into the problems for the past decade, for the next decade, like things that we're seeing as problems that just aren't addressed, that I don't know. I was just flat out sad by all of it.
My algorithm is going to cheer you right up.
That's huge.
It's going to just
Should we start there?
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
First, I need some info out of you.
Okay.
All right. Current weight. Just joking. But how many wins do you think the Yankees need to get a playoff spot? The Rays got in at 86 last year. When I said 90 to be the third wild card. What's your
90 safe? I do think with the new wild card and teams drifting every year, it could be below that. But I'll say 90 because just in case we tend to struggle with numbers here, so I don't want to change the algo too much.
Well, it's kind of it's fucking steel, like I can change these. So
Jim, there's no doubt in my mind your algorithm's steel.
Oh, thank you. So Judge with the Yankees with Judge. They win at a 61% clip when he's in the lineup. I need your clip there. When Judge returns, do you think they'll return to a 60% winning team?
Yes, because I think Bader will also be around, maybe some Rodon, maybe Nestor, maybe Sevy's better. So, yes.
Okay, great. So, the next thing I need from you is give me a date you think is realistic for Judge to return, be it July 14th, that's after the All-Star break. Maybe you're eyeing that Monday, July 3rd series, or maybe even you're all gung-ho that his same blood blended up is doing wonders, and after the off day on the 26th, he's playing June 27th. Give me a date he returns.
With the current reports I'm getting, I will pick July 14th.
July 14th?
Only because every chance Buster Olney got to talk into a microphone, he emphasized that this is a serious injury. The only reason we don't have a timeline is because it's bad.
Yeah.
That was every Buster cut-in.
Tough times.
Not ideal. Good player. Good ball player.
Okay. So there's 18 games before the break.
Yes.
The Yankees need to win 8 of those 18.
Okay.
And they're a playoff team at 90 wins, and Judge returning after the All-Star break. So that's doable.
Yeah.
These guys can do that.
Yeah.
Easy peasy. BBD, you want to give me a different return date just because I have the algorithm to let you know how many they need to win in total?
Let's
go sooner. It's more fun sooner.
So you want to go sooner? Okay.
I wanted to go the opposite. I wanted to go if it's August 1st.
I was gonna do an August 1st. I can punch in
whatever I want here. I built this thing.
Did you get any help with this? Did you reach out to Big Evan?
No.
Okay.
My brother Luke.
Okay. So you did get help in Excel.
I built it.
I love your passion with Excel. You're one of the hardest working cats I've ever seen, but
he looked over my shoulder.
It needs a second look.
And then I said, "Oh, I just did it."
It just needs a second look sometimes.
Yeah, I'm
glad it got a second look.
Yeah,
okay.
I'm not the only set of eyes. So, Beebs, give me a date, and then Jake will play it the other way.
Okay.
And I'll take one from the chat too.
So let's go for that July 3rd.
All right, Monday, July 3rd, he returns. The amount of games between then and now is 10, 11, 12. They would need to win 4 of the 12.
Nice.
4 and 8. That's a fucking sneeze and do that. Calhoun probably hits 2 walk-offs and they're done.
Yeah.
So they're golden in the playoffs. Jake, you want to go deeper than that? Say he doesn't return until after the deadline, August 31st?
August 1.
All right. So the only thing I didn't crunch here is how many games until then. Oh, no. Hold on. So that would be the 107th game. So I just do.
Just a reminder, this algorithm is brought to you by an algorithm of its own, AG1. That's right. They are full-blown AG1 now. Athletic Greens, they have now gone AG1. They've changed the company. We got a new website, drinkag1.com/Yanks. And when you go to that website, you guys probably already know AG1. Before workout, after workout, greens, powders, it's all your key health products in one. 75 high-quality ingredients that give you the key to your daily nutrients and long-term gut health. If a comprehensive solution is what you're looking for from your supplement routine, then Athletic Greens is giving you a free 1-year supply of vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. Go to drinkag1.com/Yanks. Drinkag1.com/Yanks. Link in the description. Jim.
Great news. If he doesn't return until after the deadline, August 1st, the Yankees in the 35 games until then still don't have to be over 500. 17 and 18, baby, and they're in the playoffs when Judge returns and wins at a 60% clip.
Okay.
They just have to win 34 out of the remaining 56. So who gives a fuck about these chumps, Jake? Enjoy June.
Jim,
the Yankees stink. It doesn't matter. That's what the coaches are saying.
You have just taken like 3 steps into becoming a part of the Yankees front office.
Dude, this is what they're doing.
Yes.
They don't care at all. Because in their head, Judge is going to come back and be on the team, and they'll win at a 60% clip. They have this algorithm. Like, they're like, we already got this, dude.
We could have sent you this.
You know what? I'm gonna give BBD eyes on this.
Send you.
I'd love to check.
Make it one of those shared sheets that people can get into.
No, people
Not that
aren't
they
gonna be
can
able to-
mess with.
They're not
that
going to
they
be able to
can-
understand it.
Well, who could? I'll comment on what you're talking about, because it's something that's been a part of the past few Yankees teams. It's what a lot of baseball believes in. The problem is there is some truth to it. It is just not as truthful as analytics and anything would like you to believe. Your algorithm is kind of right. Right? Like, we watched the Yankees with Judge, with Bader. They got rolling. Like, it felt good. They were getting like, down in the lineup, Bowers, before he came the prestigious Yankees leadoff hitter, was like, ooh, okay, there's something here, too. The Yankees' one goal, well, it's going to be to sneak in the playoffs, which they did the one-game playoff in 2021 with Boston. And the goal will be to have Cole, Rodon, Nestor, Sevy, Stanton, Rizzo, Bader, Judge, DJ healthy or better. And they'll plug that into the computer as many times as they possibly can. And guess what? 12% of the time, you're World Series champs. But how far we've come from... And Jimmy, I remember when we were originally doing this show, and, you know, A, we're a little younger, and B, we're figuring it out that people were talking, you know, these aren't the Yankees, blah, blah, blah. And we were kind of defensive because we were like, well, the Yankees still spend. I mean, they're more in, like, you know, some of those old Yankee teams, yes, they outspent everyone by a mile. There's a part of me that loves the competitive nature at sports, that we have rules and some regulations, so it's kind of fair. Like, you know, there's some soccer teams like PSG and stuff like that they just spend, and basically you have unfair teams. I'm not that Yankee fan. I want to be somewhat fair and win, because you can spend and you can get players and you can be better. The problem is, what are we doing? Like, some of the leash that we're giving guys, and like to watch Donaldson's at bats tonight and think that he's like welcome under the Yankee umbrella, not even he's past welcome. He's viewed as like a locker room icon in there. And you're watching some of these guys that are coming up in each inning, and the last inning was McKinney as Waldo and Trevino off the bench, and it's just like, what do we expect? And yeah, it's when we did this a couple episodes, you could hear the pain in my voice when I said Judge is going to be out for both these Red Sox series. The Red Sox are 5-1 against us. It kind of saved their season. And
yeah, you were pretty down on this.
Because the Yankees, they're top two now. As long as Rizzo's in this funk, their top two players, offensively and defensively, are out. The guys they're replacing them with aren't offensive or defensive players, which that's kind of the shocking thing, right? The kid at shortstop for the Red Sox tonight, he made a great play because he's a defensive shortstop. A classically trained defensive shortstop, if you will. So, I don't know, man. It's you're right. Like, no Yankee fan was shocked by the results tonight. Zero. And that's the part that sucks, because there was a lot of Yankee teams from about 95 to 09-ish that you would be shocked to see this. And we're just not.
Yeah. Something happened with my stupid formula.
No, I was just going to say, do you want another date for the algorithm? I saw you get a little sad, and I didn't know if you just needed another date. Can you just hit the undo button a bunch of times and it'll get you somewhere? That's Jakey Tech Geek leaking in there.
Dude, I was trying to share it
Right.
Mm-hmm. I was wondering where it was.
with the people, and I was like, I'll add more because it was all like shorthand what the columns were.
Sure.
And I was like, I'll add more fucking, detail to this baby.
Make it real words.
And it didn't end up. It ended up hurting because I tried to do the drag and just like, run that through all the cells. But it was some I did manually and others I was adding cells because that's how I work, Now I'm sharing my brilliance with others. It's scary. It's really scary to do. But give me another date. Yeah, give me another date.
Okay. Judge comes back July 25th.
Okay. Tuesday, July 25th, start of a series. I like that.
Yep.
That's the 101st game of the season. There's 62 games remaining. So in those 62 games with Judge, you win at a 60% clip. That's 37 wins. And then we want 90. So you do 90 wins minus 37. That's what we're going to get after Judge returns minus 39. That's what we have now.
Right.
That means you need 14 wins before July 25th. Now, the column I don't have is how many games until then,
Can I want to, we got a donation from Itsy Boy in the chat, so I want to give him a shout out and thank you. There was another question in the chat, because why not have the chat ripping on a night like tonight? Cadronate, or I don't know if I'm saying that right. And Jim, I think this is a question that people would be fascinated to hear from you. Who comes back first? Aaron Judge or Carlos Rodon?
They're all coming back after the All-Star break, and even if they're healthy.
Okay, so we're doing like a same-day Avengers. We're putting the first half in our rear view.
Yeah, I mean, they sent Canely, Stanton, and Donaldson the same exact time just because MLB was like, you need stars in L.A. We're juicing the balls, and we need people to come out. Send your guys. And they're like, all right, Stanton's not close to fucking ready, but okay.
Right.
I guess. If you say so. So that's what's going to happen. It's like a whole fucking documentary thing. It's already scripted. They won't even be shy about it. They were like, yeah, Judge and Rodon are both healthy, but we just think we're going to wait till after the break. Oh, okay.
It was pretty weird that those three ended up being healthy on the same day.
What are the odds?
Do you have a sheet for the odds or no?
Well, no, but 14 and 19 would be what you have to do on July 25th, which no, that doesn't make sense. Sorry. 14 and 23, obviously. So, dude, they got some losing they can do. If you believe in Judge at a 60% clip.
I mean, I believe in Judge.
So,
you know what's been getting to me? Besides the losing, 4 straight, 5 out of 6, 6 out of 8. Oh, wow.
14 and 9.
8.
What am I saying? I don't know what I'm saying.
8 out of 11 have been losses. That's pretty bad when you're playing the White Sox, the Red Sox, and the Mets. Playing guys.
You want to do another date?
Injuries happen. Although I was trying to remind BBD and Greg, who was watching the game with tonight, the lunacy that the Yankees do this level of injury game every year is just, it's completely mind-boggling. But if you're going to play, you have to call up guys from AAA or, give a quadruple A player a shot. You should get guys that are good defensively at their position, because the odds are whoever you call up to play, if they're a AAA or quadruple A player, they're not a great hitter. Otherwise, they'd already be on a team. So if you're bringing in guys to play and then those guys don't hit, a la Willie or Jake Bowers, who actually has been hitting, or, Billy McKinney's trying his damnest, and I like him, but when those guys aren't fielding well, then it's just like, oh my God, how can we be doing this to the team? How can we be doing this to our pitchers? It's tough, man. I don't know.
I'm also not positive, and they just don't care about defense.
They made such a push for
but
defense.
It was the whole thing last year.
Last year, they put such an emphasis on we must be good defensively. It's why they went out and got Bader.
And now they have all the DHs and the infielders playing the outfield.
Like, I just don't...
I mean, hey, you know what? They did get Greg Allen. He got hurt. So that was a defensively minded move. But I have something to say.
Sure.
I don't know. Florial can play defense. I know he's not on the 40-man. And I know no one believes he can hit. But wouldn't you rather take your lumps with Cole, with Calhoun and Bowers right now and just be like, all right, you guys are fucking redundant. One of you's out of here, and Florial will be the defensive replacement. Because right now our defensive replacements are IKF and Oswaldo Cabrera in the outfield, and they're both infielders.
Right.
Like, why wouldn't you just, like, no one has a role. Even the bench players don't have, like, this is your lane and you're going to crush it. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Wouldn't you just say, all right, Calhoun, sorry, dude, Bowers is hitting better than you. Florial's going to come up and play the 8th and 9th because we can't play the outfield. Wouldn't that at least be a plan that makes sense?
You want to know what feels like normal conversations would be, hey, even on the Boston Red Sox tonight, Rob Refsnyder is awful versus right-handed pitching. I think he's 139, one of the worst numbers you'll see against right-handed pitching. Against lefties, he's really good. And that's why Rob Refsnyder has, like, hopped around on teams and gets opportunities. Because if there's a lefty in there, hey, why don't we throw Bobby Ref in for a night?
Yeah.
And he's kind of versatile, and he can hit lefties. What you're saying about Florial, I wondered if his name was going to come up tonight. Because I don't want to say it's been an area of beef between you and me. I think Florial's interesting. He's gotten a look at the major league level, and it's been as bad of a look as you can get. He's killing it at AAA yet again. The strikeouts are still there. And, hey, I wouldn't... Would I bet Noodle's life on Florial being able to hit at the major league level? No. I wouldn't bet this frog art that's on my desk because I like looking at it. And there's a good chance Florial could not hit at the major league level. But, Jim, what just ran through my head when you said that, if they called up Florial and he's the defensive replacement in the outfield, does IKF have a job? Like, so then it's, okay, so we have a non-40-man guy that we called up and all the other teams passed on, which I saw some of the Twitter arguments about that. And guess what? He's young and, everyone passed on Nestor, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he's going to be Nestor either. But he can catch a fly ball, and he can run a little bit.
Yeah.
Who
cares?
I don't know.
Beebs, did you take a look at the algorithm?
Did it come through?
I sent it in the chat.
I see it in this chat. I will be looking at the algorithm.
This is nerve-wracking. It was like watching the teacher grade your test in front of you.
Again, I didn't want it to be shots fired, but I just needed a second set of eyes on it.
I told you Luke put eyes on it.
I know. So I'm all in. My chips were on the table. That's all I needed to hear.
I just don't. I think if I was to redo it, I could build this in a much easier way.
Sure.
But I didn't. I did it.
Time was of the essence.
I'm a long form guy.
You're an LFG.
If we did full day setting it up, we'd have gotten there.
But like, all right, say Judge never returns.
Right.
They would need to win 51 games. is what it says basically, and that's true. I mean, actually, it says 50.4 because the algorithm, we're still working on that, and that's true. They would need to go 51 and 39. So that adds up.
What so there's some simple logical answers, right?
Let me just let it sink in for people even one more second, Jake. Say Judge returns real soon, right? Say he comes back Tuesday, June 27th. The next two series, if he comes back Tuesday, if they announce tomorrow Judge is going to be back Tuesday, June 27th, the next 6 games mean shit. They can go over. Judge comes back, 60% winning percentage, 90 wins. They're in the playoffs. It's just like you guys are caring too much. None of this matters.
Right. No, it's true. This franchise wasn't built on power hitting and on base percentage and winning titles and being the best, and that's why the hat is in every music
on
video.
Base percentage.
That's
team
why,
on base percentage of 299 right now.
That's why they're an international product. That's why when you meet someone from around the world, that's when I meet someone, they ask about my job, and I tell them, I do some stuff around, I do some baseball stuff, and they kind of turn their head, and I was like, yeah, kind of around the Yankees, and then they go, oh, okay. Like, how far this team has gone from being what the Yankees were, it really hurts, man. And it's not all like, dude, we were in our group chat. We're talking Hal, we're talking front office. Like, I don't know, man. I think Hal has other interests in baseball. Like, don't get me wrong. The call to Judge was cool. And hey, if that's what did it, and he still rolled out the wallet to keep the best player in New York. All right, good. I signed up for that.
That's that 60% we're living on.
I don't think I've signed up for Donaldson. I don't think I've signed up for a lot of what's going on out there, and it just feels old and stagnant, and there's no repercussions for poor play, and I don't know. I don't know.
There being no repercussions for poor play is a bit odd, right? Because when I helped coach a 12-year-old baseball team, Cal Ripken, state champions, regional champions, 2-2 in the World Series appearance down in Aberdeen, but the differential beat us. Yeah, got blown out one game. Beat those Hawaiian punks though. We said there's 12 kids on a team. And the message was 6 of you are going to play the whole game. 6 of you are going to rotate, play 3 innings each because you're not as good as the other kids. We didn't say it like that, but it was implied that this is a skill-based lineup. And the Yankees don't have that right now, and that's odd to me.
Right.
It's odd. None of the decisions about the lineup are, let's play who's playing the best.
Can I tell you a moment that if I was the manager, I would have benched a player this series?
You can tell me that, and then you have to give me a date of a Judge return.
Okay.
Afterwards.
Well, Jim, the moment I would have pulled a player in this series is brought to you by Shady Rays. I got my cool Shady Rays on right now. Jimmy's looking for him as his might be having some of our medicine tonight. Shady Rays, they are so in with Jomboy Media, and we're so in with them. They were a huge part of our warehouse Blitzball Battle 3. And summer is full-blown here in Shady Rays. They have one of the best deals that we've given out to our people. With code YANKS at shadyrays.com. Code YANKS. You'll get 50% off 2+ pairs of premium polarized shades. Get yourself a pair. Get yourself 3 pairs, get yourself 4 pairs, and get someone else a pair. Give Jimmy a date. He will tell you, use promo code YANKS, and you can get yourself some Shady Rays. You're going to wear some sunnies, so you might as well make them Shady Rays. Jim, the moment I would have benched a player in this series to show that we aren't the walkover Yankees and we take games seriously sometimes. I've said this name a couple times, and you might have heard kind of a crack in my voice when Josh Donaldson got picked off.
Oh, tonight.
I'm sorry. That shouldn't happen.
Sometimes, man, when Judge isn't around and you're not winning at a 60% clip, you have to do things outside of the skill set you currently own and possess to help the team win. So if Josh Donaldson all of a sudden needs to steal a bag to help his team get out of tough stretch, he's going to need an extra step off first. So I don't fault the guy for going out of his abilities. You know, IKF pitched the other night, helping the team, doing what he can. But you have him benched?
Donaldson's batting average is down to 151.
Bad.
He got picked off on first base by Bayo. Let me make sure I've got a
bad.
Man, just find. How do you picked off? Picked nose. So that's
P.O.
That's in the fourth inning. It's a tied game. There's one out. I don't know. I would have really loved for that to not happen.
Yeah.
For a guy that over the past 4 seasons has 2 stolen bases and 2 caught stealings. For a guy that is 37 years old. And it's, you know, the Yankees love like hitting a button. No, it'd be a nice button to press. A game that's on the national stage, Yankees, Red Sox, and being like, hey, that can't happen. You'll get benched. But no, because then what if Josh Donaldson's feelings are hurt? And then when you have to move on from him come this deadline, then things are going to get really weird, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's a pickoff festival. Bad base running, but what are you going to do? Not managed or coach. I don't know, man. I agree with you, obviously. But they don't care.
What
just love that JD has the confidence to think he can grab a bag.
What do you want to see Peraza?
I want to see Judge.
I do too.
You ever seen the Newsies? The movie?
I haven't, and you know, I just had a moment where so the title just kind of it doesn't do it for me in my head, but for how much your family loves it, how often you've referenced it on this program, I should watch the Newsies.
I'll watch it with you. I'll sing all the songs.
How about you, me, BBD, Joe's, Canobio? We have a Yankees fan watch party of the Newsies.
That's fine. Joe's is going to have a limited word count.
What do you mean?
I don't want him talking through the songs. When I grew up with my siblings, we would watch the movie. You watch the songs once, no singing. Everyone listens. Then we rewind, and then we were allowed to sing along with the movie.
It's heavy.
So the Newsies, true story about news strike of 1892. That could be the wrong year. And they're trying to get all the newsboys from all the boroughs and neighborhoods of New York. Spot Conlon's the biggest and baddest newsie of them all. And they're fighting the scabs because they go on strike, and then the scabs start selling their papes. Right. And they're kind of getting their butts kicked, right? Like they just don't have confidence that they're good enough to beat these scabs. And then all of a sudden, Spot Conlon drops from the rafters and says, "Never fear, Brooklyn's here," because that's where he's from. And then all of a sudden, and this never made sense to me, but as a kid, all the kids that were getting their asses kicked by these adults just get this fucking confidence boost because Spot's with them. and start kicking ass. So whatever
They're
date
actually fighting, like kids and adults are fist fighting.
bam, bam, bam. Oh yeah, dude.
Yeah, they fight.
Yeah. True story. They so when Judge returns, guess who's good again? All of them. Volpe's laying down bunts. Donaldson's grabbing that bag. Never fear. Judge is here. So you just need Judge back. He's like the sun that they all just rotate around. They're just living in the clouds right now.
Do you think we could be sneaking up on Phantom IL season for a DJ or a Rizzo?
DJ for sure, yes. And Rizzo, yes. Although I think he
Rizzo
has
might
looked a
be
little
Rizzo.
better in the last handful of games. At least just in the fight contact wise, gotten his that stretch when he was hitless, all of his batted balls looked like he was swinging with a newspaper. Like he's actually got a little crack of the bat now, but yes, I still think we could.
DJ
Don't get me wrong. When Judge comes back, someone else is going on the IL.
Right.
Hurt or not. That's how they operate.
Yeah, I know.
I say goodbye to someone.
Cuddy just tweeted it. DJ's exit velo has been down again, and with the trust he's lost, that kind of feels like an easy IL move because A, you can call up Peraza. B, you can run Donaldson out there for the next month so the Yankees can try to prove he's not the player that he's shown he is for the last year and a half now. So it feels like the Yankees need that lane. So yeah, I could see that happening.
Yeah. Dude, what's your ideal infield? We were texting about that. It's pretty bad right now. Volpe and DJ at short and third is you were on both of these early, and I wasn't I was there. I didn't disagree with you. But I just didn't see it as bright as you saw it. And now I can't unsee both of their arms. And they're both not good enough to be playing on the left side of the infield arm strength wise.
There was a moment today on there was a relay throw to third on a triple. What Red Sox hit a triple? It was in the triangle.
I think it was Bello. I think he pinch hit for.
Could have been a Bayo pinch hit triple. I think it was in the earlier game. And again, hey guys, this is Talkin Yanks. You guys want us to. Yoshida tripled, scored on a balk. Again,
Assins. Oswaldo optioned.
Yes. Well, he should be the move for Bader.
So Bader's actually coming. I'm surprised we got that tonight.
I mean, that's I think,
it could be anybody.
I think it changes his service. He would get the service time if they kept him on the roster. So you do Oswaldo now. Yoshida triples, scores on a balk. Again, not a team that can be giving up balk runs or catcher interference runs right now, but we saw that all in today's work. If you get a chance, if you're listening to this and you're, killing time at work or doing whatever you're doing, go watch the Yoshida triple. Volpe's throw to third. Don't get me wrong, it's not a pressing play like Yoshida was going to get the triple. But it was just what? That was the throw? And again, we're overanalyzing everything, but, he made that great play, but even on that play, the throw takes an in-between hop, and Rizzo makes a really nice pick on it that, I don't know. I think an infield, if we're playing an infield I'd like to see, it would be Rizzo at first. It would be Volpe at second. It would be Peraza at shortstop. And it would be God. I don't know. My heart wants to say Gleyber at third.
Well, I mean, if you're that sounds like just defensively, right?
Defensively, it's still easily Donaldson.
But even Volpe and Peraza up the middle, like, I'll take Gleyber's bat. Even though the mental mistakes are there, I still take his bat with the mental mistakes.
Yeah, if the DH spot isn't open and we're not moving Gleyber to left and we've never looked at him at third, that yes, the Yankees have put themselves in a position where Gleyber
Over Volpe is what I'm saying. Like,
yeah, but I guess the only counter to that is we see Volpe continue to struggle is that guess who also struggled at shortstop until they moved to second base? Anthony Volpe. Gleyber Torres, excuse me. So I don't know. Could that be getting in the kid's head? Because that happens for a lot of baseball players. Shortstop is hard to play. So I don't know. I don't know. We all want to see more Volpe, right? I don't know what AAA would really do for him. I mean, maybe it helps just to get the ego up a little bit. But
Volpe?
yeah, I mean,
it probably helps a ton, man.
Like, again, if we're playing Dream World where the Yankees could be shook up and it wouldn't, make people gasp in the clubhouse, like, the fact that Gleyber was a shower thought in Boone's mind in left field, I'd give it a try, man. Because I bet it doesn't look too different than Bauers.
Bauers is good until he's not. That's the coolest thing about him. I never seen a guy look better not catching a ball. The one off the monster tripped him up. He didn't look cool on that one. But a lot of the balls he doesn't end up catching.
Yeah.
If someone was to pull a prank on you and like turn the TV off mid stride, those
who would do
classic.
something like that? What do you mean when you say a prank where someone turns a TV off mid stride?
Well, my cousin Andrew did that to a group once when they were all watching Rudy for the first time before the sack, and I thought it was very funny. So I have done it a ton in my life. I think it's really funny. Remember those kids wanted to beat me up in college? They were real mad.
I sure do, Jim.
Yeah,
because
they were watching. What were they watching? West Virginia or something like that?
I forget. They all went to the same college and literally
Eastern Carolina or
literally a half-court shot goes up for their team to win the game. They've watched the whole basketball game. Guys, it
was an inbound. It was like a 0.3 seconds left inbound play.
Guys, we don't really know.
Yeah.
And here's the inbound. Here's the shot to win it. TV goes off.
Yeah. That's funny. That's humor.
They turned it back on to see their team had lost and looking for a fight.
Yeah. They're mad at me. But if you were to do that on Bauer as he's chasing down a ball,
right,
you'd be like, he caught that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Wow.
Gets a great first step. At least.
Yeah, I wonder what OAA says about his jump. It's outs above average for all the first time listeners. Thanks for joining.
Nice. If you're just subscribe, review, prescribe, follow, dance.
Outfielder jump 54th percentile.
Above average, baby.
Yep.
For a guy who not classically trained. Hey, that's good.
What's Calhoun?
Don't.
I am pulling that up. I would guess he probably doesn't have enough to qualify yet. They don't play him out there. Yeah, nothing for this year in the log yet. Trying to see if any previous years he registered there.
Willie Calhoun is the closest I've seen a player look on a field that I thought I would look like that player.
And Kirby Puckett. Wait, you mean not physically?
But I mean, I didn't watch Kirby live that much. You know?
Remember, was that who we watched that one time? And we were like, dude, if you were an all-star baseball player.
Oh, yeah. I mean, Kirby Puckett's incredible.
If you were.
Awesome. And by the way, he a human highlight reel. He moved like a running back.
Okay. But yes, if you were good, that's what you would look like.
I don't want to say I'm a sane person. I would never compare how I move in the outfield to Kirby Puckett. Physique, maybe.
I think if you were a good baseball player.
Right.
If you were top 200 baseball player ever.
Seeing Willie Calhoun.
You would be Kirby Puckett.
seeing a ball go over Willie Calhoun's head in right field, I did like the Leonardo DiCaprio point. I was like, that's it. That's me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the defense is real bad.
It's awful. Have we seen, Jim, you and BBD are my memory guys. Have we had defense this bad as a Yankees team since 2017?
Well,
Like top to bottom.
They weren't great in 2021, which is why they tried to get better, but mostly that's catching position. So like a lot of their numbers have jumped up a ton because Trevino versus Gary is so different. But if you take the catching position out and you say around the horn, this has to be the worst, and outfield. I think Trevino's so good that if you were to go look at the data, like the actual like combined, he's still how better he is than Gary helps that. So if you take out the catching position, so balls put in play forward, I think this is the worst we've seen.
Certainly vibes wise.
You hit it at the end. It's outfield. Like, because I remember, we talked about Luke Voit picking it at first base, and that obviously wasn't a thing of beauty. We always expected the slingshot throw to go. I mean, Gleyber at shortstop, that was its own deal, but we've seen a lot of deals at this point.
I mean, if you want to go back to, you said since 2017, or are you counting 2017?
Counts.
Let's count it.
In.
Headley, Starlin, Carter wasn't amazing.
Right.
I think
all those
people
don't
guys
pine
at least,
for that.
But that was like a start of a change. And those guys were like big leaguers.
Carter may be the exception. I think he might have been like fully back. But
Carter would be the outlier.
At least Headley and Castro, it was
at least Carter was experimenting. He was trying to see if he could play first base, closed eyes. He couldn't, but at least he was trying something out.
Headley and Castro, they made the routine. I'm sure some botches here and there.
Headley had 1 month where he would just not throw it right.
Yeah, his throws got a little weird.
Wow, someone in the chat just said that at the same time I said it. They said Headley was fine. This is mighty machismo. His arm was just not existent at that point. Some points it just wasn't there.
Kind of where we're at with DJ. DJ makes some cleaner plays, but
yeah, DJ just chucks it. It's kind of hilarious when he throws the ball. You know what's also great? Yes, now we're showing like old school highlights right now.
Yeah.
And the coaching staffs used to be old, man.
Yeah.
Like some were great grandpas and they were in the dugout, like expelling wisdom and talking shit. And the Yankees don't have anyone in their dugout that's a coach talking shit. And that's supposed to be the whole thing. We went and visited the Brewers, and their bench coach was shit talking the whole team.
Yes. And
it's just like a baseball thing. And maybe they do it friendly. But remember when Nevin like bitched them all out? We talked about him when we interviewed him. And I don't know. I want to ask Boone, like, I know you guys care, but can you make it seem like you do to the fans?
I think I've got the setup. It would be Booney. Who were some of your coaches that were like hard on you when you were a young ball player, but you ended up appreciating it later on? And then the follow-up would be who is that on the Yankees?
Ed Runkle pissed on my head when I was 10 years old.
Don't say Ed Runkle.
He was my dad's drinking buddy.
Don't say Ed Runkle. We've come too far for that.
Okay, fine. You Google image Ed Runkle. How old are they? Oh my God, it's all obituaries.
Come on. What we're gonna do awards, right?
This guy was twin of Edna Runkle. That's funny, dude. Yeah, we'll do awards.
Have to.
We're 50 minutes in, so I think.
Beebs, did you figure it? Can I give you a date, Beebs, and see if my algorithm works with someone else running it?
I gotta be honest. I'm looking at the doc, and I'm not necessarily sure what number I gotta look at on certain things.
Didn't like that noise as a reaction.
All right. Let's do one together.
Do one together.
Say he comes back Tuesday, July 18th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that means that after that, they're going to win 40 games. Because once Judge is there, they're going to win at a 60% clip. And they have 67 games remaining. So they're going to win 40 of them. That's
40
60%.
and 27.
Yes. So then the 90 that they have to win, minus 40, minus 39. Because they've already won 39.
Mm-hmm.
Judge is going to give them 40 more. So you're trying to split the gap of in between 39 and all that is they would need 10 wins. They would need to go 10 and 13. Actually, that's a tough one. No, it's not. This team can do that.
I mean, man, I feel like I'm having deja vu because the last time we stepped on the mic, and it wasn't this bad yet because it was still earlier in the season, but we were like, what is the best these Yankees can do in this upcoming stretch? And it was right before Bader was going to come back. And Bader will come back, and honestly, it solves a chunk of problems. Obviously, there's a lot of stuff hitting-wise, but what Booney is alluding to and isn't necessarily wrong with, like, hitting does come and go. Like, I don't know, if you put Gunn to... I haven't brought out the gun in a while. If you put Gunn to Yankee fans' heads and say, do you think Giancarlo Stanton is going to hit again?
Gun? I didn't like that sentence.
Yeah.
Gun to Yankee fans' heads?
Yeah.
You got it. Multiple guns. Everyone
everyone stood in a line. By height.
That presents a bad scenario.
I think Yankee fans would bet on Giancarlo Stanton will hit at some point this season. Maybe not all. You know, some people live pretty ornery, but we've seen Stanton slump, especially coming back from rehab. Like, I think Stanton will hit at some point. If Anthony Rizzo is not hurt, he will hit at some point. Like, hitting will come and go. Right now, Jake Bauers is hot. Guess what? He will not always be hot unless he's, the second coming. That could have been a lie. That with Bader, remember? And Jim, this is the other thing that I was daydreaming.
And guess what?
I was daydreaming. You remember what it was our breath of fresh air when Bader came back?
Was that he didn't realize they were bad?
He was having major league at-bats.
Yeah. That's what Bauers is doing.
The intensity of the at-bats were a step up, even when he wasn't getting the result, that it was like, oh.
It was the same as the bats he had versus Cleveland in the playoffs. It was like he never left the postseason. He just came back and he was like, what's up? You guys are just like not cool? Like, let's all play hard.
And it felt like there was a ripple effect in the team that the at-bats got better. So this too shall pass at some point, and we'll keep the algorithm updated. And
you just come up with that?
Especially, I did. And guess what? Judge will come back, Jim.
I like how you added at some point. This too shall pass at some point.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know when.
It sounds like you didn't grasp my algorithm at all.
I think I fully grasped it.
No, Beeps.
I grasped it.
Himself.
I mean, you did send it to him and he didn't fully grasp it.
But I prepped him. The way it's laid out is not fun.
Right.
Yes, I didn't know if I'm looking at a line and I'm just missing where the record that they're going to have between now and then pops up.
Oh, yeah, that's the part I don't have.
That's the part I have to do.
I just have wins needed, but you got to calculate.
Yes,
that's what I was trying to give the games left and the losses then. But yeah, it's not bleak at all, man.
Should we do awards?
Yeah. First award we give out here on Talkin' Yanks is
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
and it's Sunday,
Yeah.
and I get to go first.
Hmm.
Oh my God, people are so mad about my tweets today. I got some funny trash talking in my mentions. Dude, pride of the Yankees.
Yeah.
Judge? Can I give it to Judge?
Member of the team.
I was looking at it, and there's no one else. No one else that I think earned it. Besides a reliever who pitched 1 inning, and there's a couple of them.
Hey, what a time to get a pride.
So I'll go Judge. We need you, bud. We need that 60%. And but also you don't have to rush because you're so good. See you July 15th or whatever, 14th. How many times has Judge taken the blood out of his body, blended it up, put it back into his body now?
2 recently.
That's pretty wild. I know they're just calling that an PRP or whatever because that's like the name, but I think that's a situation where you need to tell people what that is.
Right.
Like,
yeah. Dude,
I gave blood the other day.
Some of the stuff they're casually mentioning, like they said, did they not say on the broadcast they thought it was just like one fracture and then they found another? Was that
they said a second ligament is bothering
a second
him.
ligament. A second ligament arose, also strained. Popped its head out. Was like, me too, guys.
That feels significant, no?
Yeah, but the problem is Judge is wearing socks and shoes nonstop and won't let the Yankees doctors take a look at his foot. So tough to work on a guy like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, remember when Greg Bird had a bone broken in his foot, but they told him it was a bone bruise for 3 months, and he was like, I can't swing, can't put my foot down. And they're like, well, don't know what to tell you. And then they were like, all right, we'll get another x-ray. And like, oh, dude, you got a broken bone in your heel. Yeah. He was like, yeah, felt like it.
I
thought
I might have.
Yeah. I knew it wasn't a fucking bruise. Brooding Greg Bird. So yeah, but he's the pride.
Did you just call him Greg Bruce, dude? That's so
I said
up.
The brooding Greg Brood because brooding was on the mind. But I gave blood recently. I wonder if I can, when they're done inspecting it, if I can be like, can you guys shake that up, put it back in?
Just
trying to get better. Trying to get better here.
Just like put it in a little jar and just throw it back in my mouth.
This has to be from like the 1500s.
I think it's very new age. I think they found out you can like spike the blood, and that makes all the other blood good.
I mean, they probably killed all doctors doing it.
And
1972, first time.
1772?
1972.
That was, come on. That was, you knew that wasn't right.
Could have been, syringes back then.
French-Indian War, man. They were trying shit. Because that would be like a native thing to do, too.
I'm going to give my pride to Jose Trevino. He went 1 for 4, which gave him the 3rd best batting average this series. But, Jim, he also helped tricking Rob Refsnyder into a pitch clock strikeout. He was talking to Rob Refsnyder while the pitch clock went under 8 seconds. And Wandy wasn't ready on the mound either, but because Trevino was talking to him, Refsnyder didn't get in the box, and it was strike 3. So for that, Jose Trevino is my pride of the Yankees.
In your face, like my dad used to do before I laid down bunts.
Excuse me?
My dad would talk to the third baseman and then keep
Yeah.
walking, and the third baseman would follow him down the line, and then I'd lay down a bunt. It's the most pathetic thing you could do playing 8th grade ball.
No, don't say
I mean,
that.
you got to be
That's
you got to
8th
be
grade.
real not good if that's your offensive strategy. But we crushed it, man. Me and my dad. Happy Father's Day.
Happy Father's Day.
There's
And
this
my
one
best to
dude,
Chris.
and like this was like house league. I was on the Padres, Little League, and there was this like one chubby third baseman on the White Sox, and it was just like a home run. Just talk to my dad and like walk so out of position as the pitch was
Automatic.
coming, lay down a bunt and just like walk there.
One day that'll be you and James.
Yeah, or maybe I'm like, just be better, no pressure. You're not going to be good long haul. I think that's my parenting. You're not going to make it, so no pressure. Have fun. Throw curveballs at 12 and just dominate at 12. You know?
Have a blast.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Gene Monahan on the screen, hot. Who's your pride? Who's your MFer?
You Yankee motherfucker.
All of them? Can I do all of them?
What would I do?
Yeah, it's a good call.
Thank you.
Can
Can we get that Gene Monahan hot as a soundbite?
I'll go Stanton.
That was crisp. Yeah.
He was definitely rocking a toupee in whatever documentary this is. Look good though. I'm going Stanton as my MFer.
Why is that, Jim?
Well, just kind of right now, he's just such an afterthought. And last season, he was the All-Star MVP, and it was like, Stan's back, baby. He's one of the guys you got to name, top 20 player in this league, a threat, like he's on his way. And then he got hurt after winning that MVP
Didn't
at
see
the
him
All-Star
again
game.
for a while.
And then it's just now he's just not. He's an afterthought. And I love Stanton the players like a ton, and I'm with you. I think he's going to be good, or have find a stretch here and be impactful. But these are his spring training at bats. He's just watching fastballs.
Yeah.
He's just figuring out the zone and his timing. If you watch him in the first couple of weeks of spring training, he doesn't swing that much. He's just tracking pitches. And right now he's just tracking pitches. Like he's just watching the low fastballs go by and then, and just like, and it's like, man, I don't know, do a week of rehab. If this is what you need and this is what it is, like, why did we rush you back for that Dodger series when everyone thought it was so quick? Is it because they were mandating studs become play? Because and I said it at the time. I said, everyone be prepared. Stan's a real slow starter after ILs. And he is. And it's like, well, why? Then why? Whatever. I don't know.
Jim, adding to that.
Yeah. Addington.
Giancarlo Stanton does one rehab game, which, quick reminder, this has been the player that the Yankees have lived in the most fear about his injuries since he's been on the team. But they decide one rehab game. They're playing in L.A. He loves L.A. Fired up. Harrison Bader went to rehab and was reported to be coming, and then he did not. What was the difference between those two transactions? Like, what changed the decision-making processes on both of those?
One plays the field and one doesn't. Well, we'll just DH you. You're never going to play the field. And the other Bader was like, I don't know if I'm ready to, track down balls. Bader saw what happened in Citi Field. Okay? I'll tell you what happened. He saw what happened in Citi Field and was like, oh, shit. Savvy starting the series. Clark starting the series. Nah. I mean, I'm good, but I'm not good to go run myself 2 times every inning, tracking down these long-ass fly balls.
Right.
Let Bowers do that. He needs the reps. I mean, who was it that got Allen hurt? Was that Clark in Texas?
Got Allen hurt. Oh, pitching wise?
Yes, because like it was
Right.
every fucking ball, and that's what Bader is doing when he's out there. I mean, our starters are they're turning all our outfielders into power shaggers.
That was
Oh,
Sevy.
it was Sevy on the in LA, yeah. So I guess that's the difference. Is it your turn to do MFer? Where are we in the show?
Yes. Oh God, how do you pick? Can I do everyone?
You want to do all of them besides who I gave it to?
All of them besides Stanton?
Because I got him.
You did say there was a guy you would bench. Jimmy a week ago did anyone but ICAF if you want to give somebody tell somebody they cleared.
No. I'll everyone except Matt Crook.
You don't think he deserved that?
Nobody did.
Who didn't in this stretch of Yankees? Isn't there another reliever that made his debut at Fenway and a similar thing happened?
In this
year?
In this stretch? In this
Like us doing the show and
Oh.
yeah, and talking Yanks.
Well, there
stretch,
was
I
the
meant.
guy that came out and threw wild pitch splitters the whole time.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
And they like made him save the next day, or maybe it was that time.
It was
Who
that
was
game. I think it was the 12th inning.
Krisky?
Brooks Krisky.
Just got called back up today. Royals. Back in the show, Brooks Krisky.
Krisky and Crook, huh? Little duo, little hangout sesh.
Little buddy cop show, huh?
Smells like burnt Pam.
Jim,
Now it's time for regular on a wall.
regular old awards are brought to you by the DraftKings Sportsbook. Hit it out of the park this baseball season with DraftKings Sportsbook. New customers can bet just $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly when you use code YANKS only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In Massachusetts, call 800-327-5050 or visit gamblinghelplinema.org. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY. In Kansas, call 1-800-522-4700. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort, 21 plus in most eligible states, but age varies by jurisdiction. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details and state-specific responsible gambling resources. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. Opt-in and 10-plus leg required for 100% boost. Eligibility, wagering, deposit restrictions apply. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/baseball terms.
Wow. I could recite that right now.
Why don't you?
Now we're gonna keep the show moving, you know,
All right.
forward progress. I'm gonna give out the award.
Say it one more time into the mic.
Admit
Admit it.
It's what you say. You say it over and over and over again to get someone to admit they love you.
That's what you use.
That's not what I want them to admit in this situation, but it's foolproof for that. Admit. Yeah, some girls. I think that's an inside joke between my friend David.
Okay.
It was some girl we knew that we used to say admit.
I'll guess.
It was like that.
I'll guess Volpe.
No, Donaldson.
Okay.
I want Cashman to admit the trade was stupid and the return they got was bad and let go of Donaldson. Because right now, they think Donaldson could run into a homer in the playoffs, and ICAF is this super util, and they're still clinging on to a good trade. Cash, you admitted the Frankie Montas trade was a bad trade. Now, getting rid of Gary and open up room for another catcher, great. Like that. Good stuff. If you wanted to move on from Gio, I'm not against who we got rid of, right?
Could have DFA'd Gary. You know, there's a a few different ways to skin that.
If they were
it's-
dedicated to getting off of Gary.
Yeah, because some people, because you're gonna have the people that counter like it's not like Gary and Gio would have helped. And it's like it's not about that. It's about what they got in
Gio
return.
better than
Gio's,
the plan.
Gio's been kind of good the past couple years. But
He just got hurt,
yeah, that sucks.
so
I hate that.
Fractured pelvis.
Wait.
Sorry, Gio.
Elvis,
Yeah.
take it out, blend it up.
Off the field.
Ooh, so admit it, man. It's bad. You went out and you got these two guys, and they pushed you back. It didn't help. I mean, what could they see? I know it's a ton of money. How much did they just eat with Hicksy?
What was
In
it?
total, it was 3 for 30 left, so like 27 at the time they cut him.
But dude, Donaldson's pretty tough, man.
Well, in 2 years when Rortvet's the backup catcher, you're gonna eat those words, man.
Eat him.
He seamlessly replaces Higgy. 2 years. Come on.
He's a stud.
On the IL right now, down there.
But yeah, kind of over that. I don't think who he wants to be as a hitter is in line with who the Yankees need as a hitter. Does that make sense?
That is 1,000% right, Jimmy. Actually, the counter to that is that if we're doing Donaldson, you have to hit him like 8th.
Yeah.
And like it has to be in that part of the lineup. Where he is right now is a black hole of nothingness.
He's like a divider. Like if you were to, is he 5th?
Around there. Where was he tonight? Game 2, Donaldson hit 5th behind Stan. Yep.
Yeah. So it's like when you're like, he's just an enter button. You're like making a list of tiers and stuff. And then you just enter to put the gap, the divider between like, the top 4, bottom 4. That's just what he is. Instead of making it cyclical and it all like gel together, he's like a magnet that repels the other two. He's like, oh, get past that. Okay, now we're on to the next 4. He's not grinding or doing anything. And yeah, if he pops 3 homers every 10 games, he's going to have an OPS in the 750s and he's going to have an OPS plus in the 90s or whatever. But does it help the team? Not really. Maybe with the defense, but I have him popping 3 homers 10 games, which he's not doing. Maybe he is.
I know we get on people for saying this about like, oh, Stanton only gets garbage time homer. All of Donaldson's homers this year do happen to be in losses, I believe. And that's just funny.
BBD, hit any sort of button that shocks the people who are listening.
Nothing I say should be important to anyone.
Perfect.
Did you get mine?
We have done this for a couple years now, and we kind of snicker because it makes sense. The in-wins and in-losses stats. In wins, players are normally 300 OPS points higher because, when you win a game, the offense plays well, you probably contribute. Josh Donaldson in wins this year coming into today, a 0.50 batting average, a 0.50 slugging, a 141 OPS. That's in wins. In losses, which there's more games, 233 and 833 slugging, a 1.157 OPS. It is the worst reverse split win-loss number I have ever seen in 7 years being in the numbers. I know it's a small sample size, but holy smokes, I just never seen it.
That's weird. I know it's really small sample size, but that's truly bizarre.
Usually once you're over like a pretty small number, you just don't see that.
He has one hit. He has one hit in a win this season, and it was opening day.
Jesus.
And opening day went 1 for 4. And that's the only hit he has in a game the Yankees won all year. Very small sample size. They've won 7 games that he's been part of.
They've now lost 10, I believe.
Well, actually, did he start both today?
He started the second.
So they're 7 and 10. He's 7 and 10. Yeah. That's real weird, man.
6 of his 7 hits since the homers. Do I have that right?
Same guy that like rubbed a lot of his locker rooms the wrong way before he came over to this team.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe.
Just what we've heard. Just what we've heard. Another donation by Despawn. Thank you. Oh my God, we got an actual data guy in there. I can't do that right now. You check in on that in your chart. We're giving out awards.
I already gave one out. Is the
Your first one.
I'll give out the good hitter award.
Big Bowers?
Close. Gleyber Torres. I don't know, man. Like when we looked at the pinch hitting numbers, that made you, me, Boone, and BBD turn our heads because you really don't see guys with that sample size of pinch hitting with good numbers. But as we've seen Gleyber in the leadoff hole and pinch hitting and wherever he is, he's just up there swinging and hitting. And it's because Gleyber Torres is a good hitter and he's not thinking about the moment. And that's part of the reason that leads to the lackadaisical stuff as well. But Gleyber Torres is a good hitter. So, like, you know, I think if this was a couple other teams that didn't have 4 to 5 DHs, I think we'd be saying, like, man, put him in the DH spot and let him run. Unfortunately, we have 4 other guys competing for that spot. But Gleyber Torres can hit. My compliments to the chef.
I like him as a hitter. I
Like
wish
him
I
as a
liked him
hitter.
as a defender more. Someone in the chat said he doesn't have the attention span for third base, Gleyber, but I was like, maybe that like locks him in.
Yeah, it's one of those things that gets interesting either way. Like, is he so talented athletically that if you put him in left field, like when the ball hits the bat, he can do enough to get there? Or is it like we actually have a clip of him falling asleep?
I think it's like IKF. I think he's like, this is cool.
Relieved.
Like, I have so much more time from bat to glove.
Gleyber Torres, like,
Can recover from a mistake.
relaxes for the first time. Maybe.
Just kind of got to toss it this general way.
I'm giving out the to Brutus award,
Right.
which is Latin.
That's Latin, and that's when the dude gets stabbed, right?
Yeah, Julius Caesar, they call him.
Do you want me to retitle that into the appropriate Latin or keep it as et tu Brutus?
ETTU.
Technically in Latin it'd be Brute. I minored in Latin.
No,
I guess
Caesar
thought it
kind of
wouldn't come
was
in handy,
out on that. He was a pretty big Brutus guy.
His best friend.
Yeah, kind of like a nephew to him. Bullshit, little punk bitch.
Are you building off of your last award?
No.
Okay.
It's important.
Why would I do that?
Well, E2 in Spanish is like you as well, but now we've done
Yeah,
Latin.
yeah.
That's
it
what
translates
that is.
for those. It translates to you too, Brutus.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're gonna
so
stab me
even
too.
you.
that's where. So I think it's a very normal question. If I would ask if it's connected to the previous.
These 20 men stabbed me, but you two Brutus. What's he gonna do? Not stab you and die?
Rizzo.
Then he's a known traitor. No, not Rizzo. Domingo German. Needed him to stay good and not be like, oh shit. You too? I got to worry about you too now. You were kind of rolling. You were cruising. So I didn't like that. I don't like when all the starting pitchers put them into my worries, which is all of them now.
It had just gotten to kind of a good place with Domingo.
Yeah.
Does that.
Et tu, Brutus? I'll give out the E2 Brutai award.
A little different, as you guys can tell, because it was Brutai, not Brutus.
It's the traditional Latin.
Yeah. Caesar said Brutus, though.
Caesar.
Gargling blood. People leave that out.
People leave that out.
You're giving yours to Rizzo?
It's a good guess. You used some context clues there and kind of tried to attach everything. I'm going to do it as a Mike King Band-Aid award.
His dad was there rooting for the other team. You wouldn't be shook?
Dad's there rooting for the other team, and he has now given up runs in 3 of his last 4 appearances. So Mike King is one of the guys that if the Yankees are right, when your boy Judge is there and everyone is there, he is a difference maker for that team. He can be a shutdown, game-changing player. And him, while we have this current roster, it's so vital that we use him right and that he is right. Because, again, that changes the whole White Sox series. That might change last Boston series. Instead, he's, 3 out of 4 giving up runs.
Yeah. It's tough. Fenway's a pretty tough spot for the Yankees because a lot of their pitchers pitch to contact. And you have a field second highest run differential per stadium because it's kind of built for contact. It's just going to weird it up. It's going to like mix it up, spit it out at you. And if you're not solid defensively. So there were some, dude, I mean, there's a lot of balls to left field in those today. That's like, those are caught. So I hit the center field that Bader catches that ICAF doesn't. And I'm not mad at ICAF for not catching it, but Bader catches it. So it's just like, I like not being fully sarcastic here. I truly right now don't know how to evaluate some of the pitching. And you've said it with Sevy a bunch, and I've been on the other side. And with Clark today, like that first hit is, or was it DJ barehands it and doesn't, like that's an out if Donaldson's there or any other top 15 third baseman. So on like a serious note, when Judge comes back, let me see what the pitching's and Bader and Judge are back. Let me see what the pitching's up to because the outfield defense is terrible for every pitcher. Like 2 balls a night drop that I think are caught if Bader and Judge and a professional left fielder are out there. That's huge in the swing of things. So I do, and King had one where he threw like a sweeper, and I was like, I think that's caught, dude. So yeah, I am worried about the starters. I'm worried about King a little bit because it's been like 2 stretches of this. But I also would really love to see some professional defensemen in the outfield behind these pitchers.
It doesn't feel like the team is supporting each other in almost any facet. Like, guys in the lineup aren't supporting each other. The defense isn't supporting the pitching. And, yeah, I mean, hey, part of that where you started, it's part of the beauty of Yankees Red Sox, right? It's the short left field versus the short right field. And these teams and the nerds are involved, so they build their team analytically to how much of an advantage can we get over 81 games at our home field. So it makes the Yankees and the Red Sox kind of have this beautiful dueling home field. That being said, yeah, no, it's tough, and a lot of these guys' lines could look a lot different. And that's where it's bizarre because it's also, Bader, some of the numbers say he is easily the best at what he does in center field. Judge is very, very good in right field. That it's like to replace that with Billy McKinney or IKF or Oswaldo or Bowers or whoever it is. Yeah, it doesn't, again, like you're saying, that 90 wins algorithm, let's get there. It feels like that data is useless to the spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they did the King mid-game interview, he mentioned working through a mechanical adjustment right now, and
Sure.
said, like it's not been a good time to have to work through this and figure stuff out. Not been a fun last few outings for me.
The Kings are so cool. Do you think that's self-fulfilling prophecy or like nominative determinism, like their last name being King? Like, look at his dad's outfit. This is just,
Right.
just that's his outfit, man. That's what he was wearing. Did he just come from around the golf? Some warm slopes? Or was he just walking and hanging out at the ballpark? Doesn't matter. He looked cool.
His dad held a golf club today. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Maybe in Fenway.
You got anything else you want to touch on besides, or just give me another date? Cool your feathers.
I'm going to give out the Blackjack Award because that's how the show works.
Oh,
So
I thought you gave out the E2 Brute.
You gave out the E2 Brute award.
I'm going to give out another
Okay.
You want to give out a third award?
third award.
That's not how the show works. You just lied. You
isn't-
said that's how the show works. I
can't get it onto the ledger.
It won't fit on the ledger.
No.
It was an award. It's the other weird part about this pitching and defense and all of it. 21 runs with 2 outs
For the other team.
for the other team. And that is
That could be coaching. That could be coaching. That could be a philosophy.
That's-
Like, hey, when you get to the second out, just start thinking about the next inning.
That's
Get ahead.
such a weird mix of pitching and defense and lack of focus to just get that one more out. I mean, even, you want to... Clark, who has made strides and is winning us back and about it, Clark. His 0-2 pitch that's right over the middle? Like, what?
My dad.
That's the one thing. That is the one singular thing that cannot happen this pitch. And that's what you did?
My dad, who came over for Father's Day, said he watched one pitch. He went golfing with Luke. And he said, and then I got disgusted. That's what he said. Turned on TV. I said, one pitch. I got disgusted. I said, what pitch? He said, the 0-2 pitch Clark threw. So he's with you.
No one's against me.
There's people that don't like you.
Oh, yeah.
They're against you.
And by the way, I get it.
My neighbor
one
probably
of
doesn't
them.
like you.
What was that?
I could make my neighbor not like you.
Say the 2 things you said back to back.
I said my neighbor might not like you.
And then you said,
He doesn't know you exist,
right.
but I could make him not like you.
Yeah.
Like, I could smear campaign you around my neighborhood pretty easily. Put a picture of your face up on the telephone poles. This guy fucked my dog.
I was wondering when you said put pictures of this guy's face up in the neighborhood. I was just wondering how far you'd land, and that's acceptable for me. I fucked my dog on that one. Not the actual action, but
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
You'd think if I put it and I said this guy beat up my dog, like that would be worse.
Ooh, that's interesting. What's worse?
I do think it's worse because the fucked up people put you in a level of just like non-human.
Right,
that
you're
they
just
don't need
way
to care.
too
They don't need to.
horny.
They don't need to care about you. Like, oh well, that guy.
Okay.
Like he's gonna be arrested soon, and he's not my concern. But if there was a grown
Sick.
man going around neighborhoods beating up dogs,
Yeah.
now you have to worry a little bit.
I don't know. Sound off in the comments. What's worse?
Yeah. And subscribe,
Should we ask Booney that?
prescribe, dance, all the things Jake said earlier.
What's worse?
No, Boone doesn't deserve to be asked that.
Okay.
Booney, FMK, kill a dog, beat up a dog, fuck a dog.
Dillon Lawson got some FaceTime and he talked like a politician. And that made me upset. And it's a compound of all my frustrations or whatever.
Right.
So I was tweeting about it. But like how come people haven't heard I wrote a poem out of what he said. talked about the offense, obviously, because the offense is like so bad, like historically the fourth worst Yankees offense of all time or something like that.
Right.
And instead of saying, like, you're the hitting coach, this is your expertise. This is what are you seeing? What do you try? What are the challenges? Like, if this was, brag about your knowledge and what you're going to do to help and all that. Like,
if we start, I think it starts with hitting the fastball better. And once we do that, that's going to allow us to address the off speed better. I don't know. I'm just making stuff up.
Even one step less and being like, we're really struggling against starting pitchers right now, and we got to just keep working on how to change what we're doing and attack starters better. That's nothing, right? And if he says that, there's still going to be people like, dude, okay, yeah, obviously, duh. But he didn't even do that.
Right.
Like, he didn't even admit. The poem that I wrote based off of his reply was confidence, trust, belief. Lean into struggles. Run away from nothing. Focus on the now. Keep pushing forward. That was what he said to the media. And it's just like, dude, you're not on trial or a politician.
Right.
Or Boone. Like, fuck, dude. What are you doing? You're a layman's job of a hitting coach. Talk about hitting. Like, why do you have to be? And it really rubbed me the wrong way, man. Like, you can't tell us an honest fucking thought right now. And it's just the way the Yankees are run. It's just the whole thing is like, well, we're good. Gotta have faith and trust and confidence. Confidence. Well, if they keep being the fourth worst offense in baseball, I think that confidence goes down, and they want like tangible fucking help. And I'm not saying he's not giving them that behind the scenes, but like, well, I just don't get the infatuation that everyone has to be void of substance when they answer questions.
If you keep everyone in the dark and you're winning and performing, it seems cool. It seems like we have the secret recipe. When you keep everyone in the dark and you're not performing, it makes you seem like you're useless. So we would love to know just anything that could be addressed and is being addressed.
Dude, when Kalong, who was the hitting coach back in the aughts in 2009 and shit, he would show us the drills they were doing all the time. And I thought that was so cool. And they would show Cano out there early, like getting work in. This team, even if they went out there early to get work in, their mindset would be, don't let the media see this. For some reason.
Maybe we're the problem.
So much pressure. They should hire a George Steinbrenner impersonator.
Is there a guy making a living off that right now?
Like Hal's cousin. Hal fucking hates him. Who's Tony Clifton?
I'm the most pathetic man in the world.
Hire Tony Clifton to come just tear you to shreds.
Fucking Larry David. He played him in the show.
Yeah, that's what the chat's saying.
He's not making a living off that right now.
Oh no, I said have him come in. Like if you're the
Yes,
Yankees,
bring in Larry.
If you're
David.
the Yankees, that's the coolest thing you've done in 20 years.
Those royalty checks, he probably is making a great living off those episodes.
He might be.
But I don't know, man. It would just be so nice. Like even in 2009 when Cashman went to Atlanta and the whole story of he was like, you guys got to play better. You guys stink. That's not even what they do now. They just, I believe in the guys in the room. Why? Like Stanton and Rizzo need to be like DJ, like Savvy, just coddling him. I'm not trying to like be like overtly mean, but you need pushback. That's the only way to manage people is have awkward conversations. The only way to like push people is to be honest with them. Just feels they're just like substance less, like nothing. So that one interview with Dillon Lawson just rubbed me so much the wrong way. I was like, what? Why are you speaking in platitudes?
Right. You don't have to. But to be with the team, you kind of have to.
Your one interview of the year where you get to talk about what you're doing.
Josh Donaldson used to be the loudest player on Twitter.
Yeah, well, Zillow ain't going to play that shit.
So you think Lawson is? If the former MVP getting paid $25 million, he can't even fire a tweet off, you think Dillon Lawson's going to give a borderline anything quote?
No, that's what I'm saying. This is top down. It's just like they're just nothing.
Empty.
You know how a lot of authors are, maybe you don't know this, a lot of writers are going back and rewriting books, like taking out like racist stuff and bad stuff or rewording things. Like
Makes
classics
sense.
like Mark Twain and Roald Dahl. Sure. What if Jay-Z publicly announced that he's retroactively changing the lyrics to "I made the Mets hat more famous than the Mets did"? You would need 2 syllables. And do you think that shakes the Yankees to their core? That they're not...
More than watching a player flounder, absolutely.
That they're not the team in the song anymore? Like, they're not the cool hat anymore?
That's what would shake the organization, yes.
What shakes them more? The Yankees playing like this? The brain trust of the top executives, CEOs, COOs, the play on the field? Or if there's a report that they're no longer the number 1 selling MLB hat in London.
You know it's not a conversation.
I know. I'm just spelling it out. Hat sales are down in Australia? Hell, can you get us a fucking winner? Maybe all of Australia needs to boycott buying Yankees hats. Hit them where it hurts. That's a whole fucking continent lost. You get some players.
Reds are hot.
America's team.
Australia's not going to wear a red hat. It's not going to be the number 1 hat. I mean, the A's, they should be there, but
I'll send the message a different way. The reason that their hat is the number 1 selling and that they're the popular and they're the Yankees and that our stuff got off the ground with Talkin Yanks and that kind of thing, it's because they're the team that used to win a lot. And they are currently not the team that wins a lot.
a lot of regular season games they win.
Sometimes.
Ocean Machine 27 in the chat said, Jake, I can't stand to see you like this, sweetie. So why don't you sing a happy song on the way out to close the show?
3 little birds sit by my doorstep.
Bang, bang,
Singing sweet.
I was singing The Bird Hunters by Turnpike Troubadours. Good song.
My message to you.
He's not
Go
good.
Yanks, tell him,
He's
Grams.
fabulous.
Go Yankees.
Ow. Ow. Ow.